Supreme Court turns down plea for probe into Rafale deal. BJP says Congress must apologize to the country for its stand. Sabarimala dispute referred to 7-member constitution bench. Apex Court says issue not limited to just one temple. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon business leaders from BRICS countries to invest in India. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh arrives in Arunachal on a 2-day visit to review security scenario in the border state. And in cricket, Man in Blue score 86 runs for loss of 1 wicket at draw of stumps on day 1 of first test against Bangladesh in Indore. Good evening viewers and welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin. This is Hansraj and now the details. In national news first, the Supreme Court today rejected a batch of review petitions seeking a court-monitored probe into the procurement of 36 Rafale fighter jets, saying the pleas were without merit. A 3-judge bench also rejected the contention that there is a need for registration of a first information report in connection with the deal. The pleas had sought a re-examination of Apex Court's 14th December 2018 verdict, which said there was no occasion to doubt the decision-making process. A batch of petitions, including those filed by former Union Ministers Yashwant Sinha, Arun Shourie and lawyer Prashant Bhushan, had sought a review alleging that material facts were suppressed and a criminal investigation should be filed in the case.
Those review petition has been dismissed by the Supreme Court. Those review petition have been filed on the plea of that some PMO people were negotiating the deal. Some other reasons have been given. They have found some new facts. Please.
Meanwhile, the Bharatiya Janata Party today said Congress and its leader Rahul Gandhi must apologize to the country after the Supreme Court rejected a batch of review petitions seeking a probe into the Rafale deal. Briefing the media in New Delhi, Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said Gandhi deliberately misquoted the Supreme Court and attributed Chaukidar remark to the court. The minister said people have a saga of corruption from Bofors to Augusta Westland are masquerading under a quest for justice.
और नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार के ईमानदार निर्णय प्रक्रिया की जीत है। सत्यमेव जयते। उन्होंने पूरे निर्णय की प्रक्रिया को जांचा, कहा वो सही है। उन्होंने प्राइसिंग की प्रक्रिया को भी जांचा और कहा कि ये भी सही है।
On the other hand, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh welcomed the Supreme Court's dismissal of the review petitions in the Rafale case. In a series of tweets, Singh said the NDA government stands vindicated with this pronouncement. He added that the verdict is also a judgment on NDA government's transparency in decision-making. The minister said the purchase of Rafale jets was done in a completely transparent manner, keeping in mind the urgency to update and upgrade India's defence preparedness. He said the issues pertaining to defence preparedness and national security should never be politicized.
मैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के इस फैसले का स्वागत करता हूं और इससे हमारी सरकार के स्टैंड का विंडिकेशन हुआ है इस फैसले के परिणाम स्वरूप, बल्कि हमारी सरकार की जो डिसीजन मेकिंग की जो ट्रांसपेरेंसी है उस पर भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपनी मुहर लगा दी है। और राफेल के संबंध में जो भी निर्णय लिया गया था वो पूरी तरह से पारदर्शिता के आधार पर लिया गया था और साथ ही डिफेंस प्रिपेयर्डनेस की अर्जेंसी को ध्यान में रखकर यह फैसला किया गया था।
In another development, the Supreme Court today said restrictions on women in religious places were not limited to Sabarimala alone and is prevalent in other religions as well. The Supreme Court, by a majority of 3-2, has referred the review petitions to a larger 7-bench constitution bench. Justice Rohinton Fali Nariman and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud gave a dissent judgment. The Apex Court said the larger bench will decide all such religious issues relating to Sabarimala, entry of women in mosques and practice of female genital mutilation in the Dawoodi Bohra community. Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi read the verdict on behalf of himself and Justices A.M. Khanwalkar and Indu Malhotra. Prime Minister Modi has said India is the world's most open and investment-friendly economy due to its political stability, predictable policy and business-friendly reforms. Prime Minister Modi was addressing the closing ceremony of the BRICS Business Forum in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, on Wednesday night. He said the BRICS has led to economic development despite a global economic slowdown. He said BRICS accounts for 50% of the world's economic growth. Modi called upon BRICS business leaders to exploit the opportunities among member countries. The meeting of working groups of BRICS Business Council concluded on the first day of BRICS 2019. At this meeting, the leaders of working groups have agreed on 30 important proposals related to different areas.
President Putin highlighted the potential of the Arctic region in natural gas and invited India to invest in the region. The progress made in the field of infrastructure...
In news from Arunachal Pradesh, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh arrived in the state today with a two-day itinerary. Besides attending several programs, Singh interacted with soldiers deployed in Arunachal Pradesh and reviewed security preparedness of the defence forces along India's border, the line of actual control with China. On Friday, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will visit India's border post in Bumla near the LAC with China. The bridge that he will inaugurate after visiting Bumla is located across a river in Lower Dibang Valley. Bumla, located at a height of more than 4,500 meters above sea level, is strategically important for India because it was through this pass the Chinese army had laid an invasion in 1962. The nation is today remembering the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, on his birth anniversary. The day is also celebrated as Children's Day. On the occasion, President Ramnath Kovind met children and young innovators at the Rashtrapati Bhavan today. Earlier in a tweet, he said he is remembering Pandit Nehru on his 130th birth anniversary and looking forward to meeting the children. Paying tributes to Pandit Nehru, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu also wished the children a very happy Children's Day. He said people must pledge that every child gets good education and a positive environment to grow up in life. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also paid tributes to Jawaharlal Nehru through Twitter. In Assam, Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal today launched Shisu Suraksha, a mobile app in presence of Minister for Social Welfare Pramila Rani Brahma on the occasion of Children's Day. In a speech at the function held in Guwahati, Sonowal said that the app can be used by any person in any corner of the state to report abuse of children and their rights. The purpose of the Assam State Commission for Protection of Child Rights app is to empower citizens to take moral responsibility of protecting future generations.
আমি সকলোৱে শিশুৰ পৰাই আমি জীৱনৰ পাতনি মেলিছো আৰু আমাৰ এতিয়াও মনত আছে আমাৰ মাতৃপিতৃ আমাক লৰালি কালৰ পৰা শৈশৱৰ পৰাই যেনে ধৰণে অত্যন্ত আদৰ মৰম স্নেহ আন্তৰিকতাৰে ডাঙৰ দীঘল কৰিলে যাৰ ফলশ্ৰুতিত আজি এনে ধৰণে আমি এখন মঞ্চত থিয় হৈ কথা কোৱাৰ সৌভাগ্য বুটলিছো প্ৰতিগৰাকী ব্যক্তি কথাটো
In news from Meghalaya, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma on Wednesday said the state government is working on a system to implement the Meghalaya Resident Safety Act at the earliest. He said there will be a procedural delay in the implementation of the act as the ordinance is yet to get governor's assent. It may be mentioned that the state cabinet recently passed the Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act in the form of an ordinance. Sangma said the rules for the act will be notified very soon. He also said people willing to visit the state now will have to undergo a simple registration as per the act. And sports news in cricket, India were 86 for 1 in their first innings at stumps against the Bangladesh on the day one of the first test in Indore. Rohit Sharma was out for 6 runs. Earlier electing to bat first after winning the toss, the visitors were bowled out for 150 runs, while Mohammad Shami took 3 wickets. Ishant Sharma, Ravichandran Ashwin and Umesh Yadav claimed 2 each.
भारत ने अपनी पहली पारी में 1 विकेट के नुकसान पर 86 रन बना लिए हैं। टॉस जीतकर पहले बल्लेबाजी करने उतरी बांग्लादेश की शुरुआत खराब रही और टीम ने 31 रन पर 3 विकेट गंवा दिए। मुशफिकुर रहीम और मोमिनुल हक ने पारी को संभालते हुए चौथे विकेट के लिए 68 रन जोड़े। मोमिनुल को 37 के स्कोर पर बोल्ड कर अश्विन ने साझेदारी को तोड़ा। इसके बाद नियमित अंतराल पर टीम के विकेट गिरते रहे और पूरी टीम 58.3 ओवर में 150 रन बनाकर ढेर हो गई। टीम के लिए मुशफिकुर रहीम ने सबसे ज्यादा 43 रन बनाए। भारत की तरफ से मोहम्मद
The Meghalaya Cabinet on Wednesday discussed amendment of excise rules and various other related issues in order to increase revenue collections. Talking to newsmen after the meeting, the Chief Minister Conrad Sangma said more suggestions will be incorporated and the Cabinet will sit and decide soon on the amendment. Refusing to divulge the details, he however said it is about increasing the revenue. Some new rules will be inserted, and once that happens, the state will see a huge jump in the revenue collections of the excise and other departments. Prasar Bharati Chief Executive Officer Shashi Shekhar Vempati today said that the bar for content in media should be set high. Speaking at the CII Big Picture Summit being held in New Delhi, Vempati said Indian content has gone high, but the bar must be set higher. He said a global digital ecosystem must be created. Vempati hoped that more ideas will be generated during the two-day summit on how media and entertainment sector can be transformed in the coming decade. Speaking on the occasion, Secretary Information and Broadcasting Ministry Amit Khare said the sector is moving to a system where the government is playing the role of a facilitator.
इनोवेशन बहुत ज़रूरी है. जैसे आपने देखा अभी वर्ल्ड कप के समय में हमने रेडियो का कंटेंट को विजुअली एनहांस करके डिजिटली अवेलेबल करवाया साइन लैंग्वेज के तहत, तो ये एक्सेसिबल भी बना. और अभी हाल ही में जो चल रहा है बांग्लादेश के साथ सीरीज, तो आज पहली बार आप जो रेडियो कमेंटेटर्स हैं उनको देख भी सकते हैं क्योंकि स्टूडियो में कैमरा लग गया है. तो एक तरह से इस तरह से जो रेडियो का कंटेंट को विजुअली एनरिच करना.
And finally, in news from Tripura, after the drastic fall of orange production in Jampui Hills in North Tripura, the state government is now looking for new areas for orange cultivation. The government is trying to expand the orange production in different parts of Tripura as the climatic conditions supports orange production in the state. For the first time, orange was grown in 500 hectares of land in Baramura Hill Range in West Tripura district, and over 1,000 metric tons of the fruit have already been sold. State Agriculture Minister Pranajit Singha Roy told the press conference at Civil Secretariat Agartala on Wednesday. And before we wind up the bulletin, a recap of the headlines. Supreme Court turns down plea for probe into Rafale deals. BJP says Congress must apologize to the country for its stand. Sabrimala dispute referred to 7-member constitution bench. Apex Court says issue not limited to just one temple. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon business leaders from BRICS countries to invest in India. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh arrives in Arunachal on a 2-day visit, reviews security scenario in the border state. And in cricket, Man in Blue score 86 runs for loss of 1 wicket at draw of stumps on day 1 of first test against Bangladesh in Indore. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.